Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Oh my gosh, hey everybody, hi, how are you doing? This week it's another episode of 1000 Pound Sisters starring the ever so delightful, full of gas, Amy Slayton and Tammy Slayton. Y'all, I really truly love to see it, and I'm so excited to get into this conversation with y'all about what happened on this week's episode. But before we do that, we obviously have to make some time for what Miss Judy Lou Who has to say. So, Judy?
It's not butt ugly, it's butt cute.
All right, well, thank you for that, Miss Judy Lou Who. Now, to get things started today, I thought we always talk about diet sodies, but we never ask how diet sodies are doing. So I just brought a diet sody here so we could find out. So go get yourself a diet sody and join me in this moment, or whatever kind of beverage you want to drink along with the review today. But here's to diet sodies. And the diet sodi's doing well today. She is doing just fine. So with the diet sody out of the way, I have to say it seems like this week was a pretty quiet week for the girls on the social media. I don't have a lot of interim updates to give you. I will say that I've seen a video keep popping up in my recommended that I just thought I would give a shout out to. It's called We Stand Mr. Michael Halterman, and it's by a YouTube page called What's Lauren. And from what I can tell, it's just a compilation of videos of reasons to love Michael Halterman. So I'll leave that linked in my description box down below. Go give it a check out. You know, I really have stanned Michael throughout both seasons. He's out here constantly taking care of Tammy, and I just feel like he deserves some props. I know that prior to them being on this show, people had a lot of questions about Michael, but from everything I can tell, he's just like really a stand-up guy, at least when it comes to taking care of both Amy and Tammy. Like, he seems to really care about both of them a lot, and you know, in this day and age, what more can you ask for from a man? Honestly, truly. So we are gonna jump into episode 8, which I believe TLC titled Everybody Hurts, which it's true. At least it's true on, like, that's how the episode ends, is everybody's in pain. We start the episode off with them shopping for the baby, which is a fascinating journey. Amy's like, listen, hey everybody, I don't have any kind of shit purchase for this baby. And I'm just like, maybe you didn't buy anything, but like, did nobody bring gifts to the baby shower? Did y'all not have a baby registry? But either way, I think that's a little bit besides the point, because even if you do, like, obviously there's stuff that you're still gonna need that people didn't get for you, whoever, whatever. And Amy takes along both of her sisters, Tammy and Misty. Misty because she's like actually an experienced mother, has several children. And Tammy because she just wants to cheer Tammy up, and probably because TLC made her, okay? TLC probably said, listen, we need footage of both of y'all. But Amy says it's to cheer Tammy up because, listen, y'all, Jerry is gone, and we have to tie it into what happened in the last episode as well. And listen, Michael's still out here pushing Tammy's ass around, so like I said prior to this, God bless Michael Halterman. What a guy. What a guy. Tammy does let us know, at least at this point in the timeline, while they were recording and filming, that Jerry is still calling her every single day, allegedly. And honestly, that probably makes some level of sense because, like I've pointed out in previous episodes, like, he was out here liking her Instagram posts and things like that up until probably like last week sometime. I haven't checked back lately since Tammy shared on TikTok that she was single. But, you know, he was out here for a long time continuing to like her posts. And while we're talking about Jerry, let's just talk about some of the discourse in my comment section surrounding him. There's a lot of people who have very different opinions than I do on Jerry. The whole point of these episodes is for me to give my opinion. Like, that's what I'm doing here when I review the show. So of course I don't expect everybody to agree with every single thing I say. I hope that you watch my reviews because you enjoy listening to me talk about it. Not necessarily that I expect everybody to agree. So I actually really appreciate when there's discourse where people disagree. I mean, that's the beauty of entertainment and watching television shows, is that we don't always agree on everything. So please feel free to do that. But again, I'm just making my assessments of how I feel about Jerry based on what we've seen on the show, based about what we know about him off of the show, and all of that combined. Okay, I'm working with what you're all working with, and this is just my take on it. Okay, that's just, we love difference of opinion and thoughts about these things, and in this case, it's opinion. Okay, it's opinion whether or not you like Jerry or not, and it's okay for us to have a difference of opinion on those things. Now, I did lose it when we got introduced to a new dog. I don't know who this dog was, why it was in this baby shop, whoever, whatever, but the dog's response to Tammy coming through the doors of that baby shop had me cackling.
What's the dog? You scared me. Hold on. Hold on, girl. Oh, Halloween.
Now they're going about the baby shop looking for things, and Tammy just keeps finding all of this sloth-related stuff, which kind of reminds me of my friend Lindsay from grad school. She loved a sloth, anything, whoever, whatever. But that's besides the point. That seems to be all that Tammy thinks this baby needs, is sloth items. We just need sloth items and sloth items. And most of them were like decor. We're not talking about like functional things like clothing or, I don't know, a crib or any of the things that Amy says she actually needs. But Amy does say it's all fine.
I love sloths because they remind me of Tammy slow.
So there is that. Tammy also lets us know that she doesn't want kids, and she lets us know in a way that only a Slayton could let us know that she doesn't want kids.
Being pushed in the store does not make me want a baby. Ain't nothing being pushed out my legs, except a fart maybe. There's no eggs in my body. My eggs dried up. It's dust.
And honestly, mood. I have never related to something that Tammy Slayton has said more than I did in this exact moment. In general, throughout this whole episode, but also during this particular scene of the episode, Amy just seems like really unprepared to have a child, and it's like reinforced by all the other people that come on. I mean, throughout the episode we hear Tammy and Misty say that, the psychic later kind of alludes to that, the doula. I mean, we're gonna get to all of those things a little bit later, but like the premise of the whole episode is like Amy's not prepared, and I feel like it's gonna culminate in Amy having the baby. I think that that's where like this is eventually going, is like she's really not prepared, and surprise, the baby's here. We eventually get this little sit down moment between Tammy and Misty, which like, I don't know if this is just like a part of the produced nature of the television show, or if they constantly are talking about their family members off to the side all the time, but Tammy and Misty are having a conversation about how they don't think Amy's prepared, how like she hasn't thought about how much this is gonna cost, or like waking up at night with the baby, things like that. And Tammy also talks about how she herself is prepared to help take care of the baby, which I have a lot of questions about that, because like, girl, where? Like you struggle taking care of yourself most days. Like I have a lot of questions about how you're gonna take care of a baby. But I'm not a parent myself, so maybe it's possible for Tammy to partake in childcare. I don't know. But Tammy does say that is motivation for her to like put in the work, do more, do what she needs to do to lose weight so that she can be around for the kid. And Misty's like, okay, well, sis, about that, sis, how's it going? And Tammy lets us know that she has an appointment coming up with Chris at the doctor, and so she really needs to Get into gear! The next scene starts off with Chris and Tammy working on their food journals, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because, like, I've never kept a food journal, but I do use, like, an app to track what I eat every day. For me, I find that it's really helpful to just be, like, conscious about what I'm taking in. Not even necessarily the calories. Like, sometimes you really do just forget that you've eaten a lot already, and it helps you check yourself and say, like, am I eating this because I'm hungry, or am I eating this because I'm bored, or I'm emotional, or whoever, whatever, you know? But either way, apparently Chris and Tammy are trying to work on their food journals after the fact, after they've already eaten all the food. And Amy swoops right on in with Michael, and Amy's wearing this virtual reality headset thing, looking like a bug. And Amy's like, listen, food journals were really, really helpful to me when I was on my weight loss journey and trying to get surgery. Like, it really helped me out a whole lot. And Tammy's like, why are you only looking at me when you say that? And Amy's like, I'm not. And then Chris says this.
You know she got that crazy eye that goes off to the side.
Which, like, he said it, not me, not Tammy. Just like Tammy was like, listen, I didn't say that. I also did not say that. Chris said that. Her brother said that part. Okay, just so we're clear on that. And then we shift into this, like, virtual headset thing. And I don't know, this is gonna get into, like, a small gripe that I have about this show, okay? Because this is, like, the third, fourth, fifth time over the 2 seasons that they've introduced some kind of, like, wacky gadget or device that is designed to, like, help motivate Tammy to exercise and be fit. I mean, we've seen it in the first season with the shake weight. You know, Chris came over with that little pedal thing, and that's only the first 2 that come to mind, but I know that they've done it multiple times. There's been other things that I just are not coming to my mind right now. And I just get so frustrated because while these things are fun, like, while the idea of these things are fun, like, at the end of the day, what she needs and what Chris needs and really what Amy needs is, like, actual practical exercises that are easy for them to do, that they can do on a regular basis, and were given to them by, like, either a personal trainer, which we do see later in the episode, or a medical expert or something like that. Like, they need some guidance and not just these, like, silly devices that aren't going to be sustainable for them. I just guess I'm frustrated because it's like, to me at this point, it feels like a clear ploy from TLC to be like, hey, we need y'all to do some goofy shit for 5 minutes so we can fill some time in this episode. That's what it feels like to me. And I think that that's like, do I enjoy the silliness? Yes, absolutely. 100%. I enjoy all the silly stuff that's happening. But is it actually helpful to anybody involved outside of giving us some giggles? No. It's surely not. They're never gonna touch that virtual reality headset thing again. If it's even theirs to keep after they get done filming, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, Tammy has a lot of difficulty participating in it because it requires you to, like, move around a whole lot more than she's, like, able to do within her own range of motion. And I think that that's, like, why it's also frustrating to see, because you see later when a personal trainer comes in and gives her actual skills that he knows that she's capable of doing, that's within her skill set, she's able to do it. So it's just like, let's give her things that she can actually succeed at so she can see she can do them. And then she starts doing those things, you know? Like, the virtual reality headset kind of just, like, felt like it was set up for failure, honestly, truly. Like, yes, to those of us who are able-bodied, yeah, that looks like a really fun thing to do. But when you're Tammy and you are 600 pounds, like, her range of motion is limited. Like, yeah, she's for sure going to not be able to do that. Like, that is not in her skill set to be able to do. You're setting her up for failure. So then Amy and Tammy go to a psychic, and listen, the way that Amy described this woman just makes me think of, like, so many white women. And I was just like, this is truly so funny to me, and I'll just let her explain how she looked.
I was expecting somebody older than this.
Yeah, I know what you mean, like 50, 60.
Been doing it for like 35 years, something like that.
Then again,
They can manifest stuff at a young age, so.
we're going into this skeptically. We're not sure what to expect because Shanda looks
Basic. She drinks pumpkin spice lattes.
So anyways, the reason they're going to see Shanda, was that her name, Shanda? Shanda. The reason they're gonna go see Shanda is because Amy's been having these weird dreams about being pregnant with fish and floating down cheese rivers. And she's just worried something's gonna go wrong with the baby. AKA, again, TLC said, we gotta put some goofy shit in here, so we're gonna arrange for you to go see a psychic. Okay, do I believe that Amy or Tammy would have paid money prior to this to go to a psychic? I don't know, maybe if they had it, but I truly don't believe that this is something they would have just casually done without TLC's guidance. Well, Amy wants to know about her pregnancy and if it's going to be a good delivery and safe and everything like that. Tammy wants to know if she's going to get to have surgery, and also, is she going to get married? Which is just like, girl, again, maybe the surgery needs to be your primary focus here, but I get it. If I went to a psychic, I would want to know about my love life. I would want to know about my career, my health, my safety, my happiness. So you get all the questions out there while you're there, even if a wedding isn't really on the horizon, sis. So they roll up to the psychic, which is outdoors. We love to see that in a social distance moment, but at this point, I feel like they've really just like stopped pretending to even care about the panty, because none of them rolling up are even wearing masks. Like, there are lots of times where like folks will, in this show in particular, will show up wearing masks, at least to like fake the pretending of caring, that there's a whole Patricia happening outside. But in this instance, nobody rolled up with any kind of mask. Nobody had a mask on. So I guess we're just over it at this point on the 1,000 Pound Sisters. I guess TLC just doesn't care. I guess maybe Kentucky doesn't care. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But at this scene, it was clear that they just like aren't even pretending like there's a pandemic happening anymore. But it is what it is. Amy goes first, okay? And obviously she wants to know about what's going on with her baby. The first thing that Miss Shanda, I don't know why I keep messing up her name or forgetting what it is. But the first card that Shanda pulls suggests that Amy and Michael need to find a better place to live. They need to maybe sage the house. I don't know. It's almost like TLC told Miss Shanda that they'd already filmed this whole scene where Amy and Michael went house hunting. I wonder how Miss Shanda knew that. I can't believe psychics are real, y'all. They're real, absolutely real. They also tell us a little bit about how the Slayton duplex is haunted by a ghost cat, which we see more of later, which is just like, that's perfect. That's really how I like my Slaytons, haunted by cats. It makes sense. It makes so much sense, and I can't even explain why. Shanda also lets Amy know that she doesn't see the birth going smoothly. She mentions that things like don't look like it's gonna go right. Labor might happen early, and that also maybe there would be a C-section or something in Amy's future, which is a continued theme of things we hear throughout the episode, that like she might have to have a C-section. It's almost like TLC wants us to get the point that this is a thing. Tammy goes second, and her first card signifies that there's gonna be either a wedding or a birth, which is like, girl, where? Girl, where? This is where it's like, Shanda doesn't know what's really gonna happen, but like, TLC told her, hey, Jerry was just here, so like, let's play that up, okay? So she sees something about that, but then she suggests that whoever she's getting married to, whoever Tammy might be getting married to, it's not gonna happen just like right away, because, her current boo has some things to put behind him first. I don't know what that could be. Maybe his wife? Maybe the fact that he's married? I don't know, could be that. But the producers asked Tammy, hey, what do you think it might be? And Tammy's like, I have no idea. I have no idea. And that's like, sis, I think we know what it could be. And it could be that he's married. It could be that he's married. I don't know. Just a hunch on my end. I could, you know, who knows? Who knows what it could be that he needs to put behind him? Who knows? Shonda also does talk on the whole issue of whether or not Tammy will get surgery or weight loss in general. And she does see somewhere in the future that Tammy could get weight loss, but that, you know, Tammy is still like waiting to even get started on this journey. Like she has to put some stuff behind her too so that she can get up and get going with all of this. And she also doesn't think that Tammy believes in herself enough to like get started. She doesn't think that Tammy believes that she can do this, and that if Tammy wants to have this weight loss surgery, then Tammy needs to believe in Tammy. Which is probably true, but I don't think you need to be a psychic to be able to tell Tammy that, or like be able to see that. Like, sis, I might be psychic, because I saw that a long time ago. We've known. You don't have to be psychic to know that. Like, girl, maybe I should start charging. Maybe I should start charging for some psychic readings. So the producers do ask if there's anything that they didn't get answers to. And this is Amy and Tammy's response, which is just classic.
Was there anything that you didn't get answers to?
Why my hip hurts?
Because you're fat.
No, because I'm sitting on it. Shut up.
So after the psychic, we get this fun little clip of Tammy and Amy hunting for the ghost cat. Okay, they're going around the apartment. You know, Tammy got this super reliable ghost hunting app on her phone, which, you know, phones, your little Apple iPhone, even probably your Android is going to be out here able to help find ghosts in your apartment. Love that for her. Love that for her. And Amy has a strong feeling that this cat is Siamese, which also just feels like such a weird specific thing for her to even say, but we got it and I love it as a concept. And Amy has purchased some sage and she is going to sage the whole house, and Tammy's like, sis, why are you doing this if like you're gonna be moving out anyways? But she's like, listen, Gage is gonna be living in this house for a little bit, for some amount of time. I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure that this place is fit for him, which is kind of interesting that like she has the thought to sage the house to get it ready, but like doesn't have the thought of like, let me go buy all of these other things, which I can't remember if I said already or not, but like she did mention that one of the reasons that like she's not super prepared is that she's worried that something is gonna happen to her in pregnancy or birth or something that's not going to go right with either her or her kid. And so I think that that's like a really reasonable thing that keeps probably a lot of mothers from like going through the process of getting everything ready to have a kid and stuff like that. So like I 100% understand. I also think it's like silly to go through and sage your house in preparation for a baby. Personally, for me, like in the scheme of things that need to happen in preparation for a kid coming, maybe not that part. The saging also specifically includes Amy's butt.
You'll sage my booty? Sage the booty.
Amy. Oh, Lord.
I didn't fart.
So there's that. And this whole scene is just so funny to me. There's so many funny things that happen in this scene that I'm just gonna share them with you.
Hey, evil heavenly spirits be gone.
Bitches, get out my house. Bitches, get out my house. You need a lot in your toilet.
Hey, be nice.
We also get the little bit shot of the week with the sage, which I also thought was just so cute. Like, Little Bit is really so adorable. Like, I don't think y'all can deny that. And we once again get more footage of Amy talking about being concerned about her baby. In fact, like she had a doctor's appointment where they said Gage is a little bit underweight. And so she's worried that he might come early, that he might have to spend some time in the NICU, things like that, which all seems probably pretty reasonable for her to be worried about, especially if her doctors are sharing that with her. So the next scene is Chris and Tammy getting together to work out. And Tammy's like, listen, I gotta start working out because this psychic told me I needed to start believing in myself. And honestly, like, it taking a psychic for her to get into this space, it's just like, you've had so many other people tell you this, and now it's this psychic. It's this psychic that's gonna say, hey, you need to start believing in yourself, and you're gonna do it. I mean, I guess whatever it takes. And Chris brought in a personal trainer, and he comes in with this megaphone looking like a dweeb. I'm just like, what is going on here? But my question about the personal trainer goes a little bit along the same lines of all the devices, right? Like, is this personal trainer sustainable? Like, is this personal trainer ever gonna come back, check back in? Whoever, whatever. I'm gonna guess probably not, because like most of these people and things that they bring onto the show for these one-off things, like, I don't foresee him like forever working with Chris and Tammy. I think it'd be great if he could. And don't get me wrong, I think he was helpful in ways that some of these other devices have not been helpful. But I just think about like in season 1, for instance, I remember Amy and Tammy going to the pool at like a local pool and swimming and working out that way. And I talked to Amy and Tammy, and they never did that again. Like, they only had access to it for that one day, and like they never got to do it again. It was just for filming for the show. So it's like, are these things really helping them, or are they just giving us like things to watch, funny things to watch? Now, I will say the part where I think this personal trainer was helpful is that he really did teach them things that were within their capabilities that they could reproduce on their own. Like, he doesn't really have to be there for them to do it. But speaking from personal experience working with a personal trainer, like, the motivation you get from somebody telling you in the moment to do something is quite different, right? Like it's one thing to say, oh, you taught me all these exercises, now let me go do them on my own. It's another for him to be there, like, not yelling at you, but yelling at you to do something. So, you know, I am impressed that he was able to give them so many tangible things that they could do on their own and that were within their skill sets. But I'm just like, what's the likelihood of them going on and doing these things without him being present? You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say I was really impressed with like the amount of effort Tammy put into doing things. And to some extent, it makes me wonder, like, how much effort is she putting into all of these other things that she says she can't do, right? Like, I really believe, like I said earlier, like, there are some things she clearly is just, like, not going to be able to do. And that's why I appreciate that he gave her some stuff that was within her skill set. But I'm also like, what things could she do if she just tried, you know? And I think that that's like a fine line, and I'm just happy to see her doing anything that's gonna hopefully get her to a space that she needs to be. But it did make me have some questions, because we saw even last week, like, she was like, oh, I can't get up this ramp, and then she tried and she got up the ramp. And I don't want to like belittle or doubt her when she says she can't do things, because I think often people, especially people with disabilities, get told like, oh, you're making that up, you could really do that if you just tried harder. And so I want to believe her, but I'm also like, we've seen some examples of like, she said she couldn't do something, then she did it, and it's like, I wonder. But in this case, I love that this personal trainer worked with her, and I just wish that the personal trainer could continue working with her. And maybe he does, who knows? We don't see everything, right? Chris also points out that if she kept this like same level of effort going in all aspects of her journey, that she would have no problem losing the 25 pounds. So I'm interested to see if like that's something that ends up happening for her. I think when like you're 600 pounds, we're probably not going to be able to necessarily see it until she gets on the scale. So I'm just curious to see what will happen. They also bring in a doula because Amy doesn't know anything about Lamaze, or that's what she says. And that's quite clear when she says that all she knows about giving birth is this.
That's all I know.
So I'm glad this woman is here to help her out. And in general, this whole scene, like, I am certainly no expert when it comes to anything related to childbirth, giving birth to children, getting pregnant, whoever, whatever. Like, I'm not an expert. I'm not prepared to discuss a lot of those things. So here are just some of those highlights from her learning about childbirth.
I feel like a dog just played that pig.
Perfect.
She see my cooter. I got penis.
Amy.
And my cooter's still showing.
Nasty ass.
This peanut ball is the weirdest thing I ever felt in between my legs. I feel like I got a damn penis with a big ass erection.
So all I'm doing with that is
You
rolling
know,
it.
trusting you right now not to fart. Seriously. Really not on my belly. Wait for your husband.
We also know that Tammy knows a lot about childbirth because she watches TV. So happy to have her on board. And they also do this balloon activity, which to my understanding is supposed to demonstrate what it looks like when you're dilated. Again, I'm not an expert, but all of this somehow leads to a story about Amy peeing on Tammy.
Growing up, she peed on my leg one time.
She was making me laugh when we were on the floor watching TV. I laughed so hard I peed on her.
And y'all, I just love how these women are really like taking bodily functions and making it their brand, honestly. So the episode really truly ends with everybody getting into a car. Allegedly, they were going to go to a farmer's market. I'm not sure what they were going to do there, but we don't get that far because Tammy gets into the van and her foot's hurting, her leg, her foot, somewhere on that part or area of her body is hurting in pain. The medic thinks she might just be dehydrated, but then Amy starts hurting and crying. And also, like, honestly, I just, like, get emotional seeing Amy in pain. Like, I've just seen her as, like, such a, like, I don't know, like, such an innocent, genuinely nice person through this show, and seeing her in pain or seeing her sad or upset, like, it just really touches me in a way that I would have never thought. And so I did get very emotional, but she is hurting. She thinks she's starting to have contractions. They call the doctor. The doctor says, hey, get to the hospital. We should check this out. And that's how the episode ends. You know, 1,000 Pound Sisters loves a cliffhanger. The last time that an episode ended in an Amy health cliffhanger, it was because Amy had too much Chinese food. So who knows what we'll get. It looks like next week she does appear to be having some type of surgery. So it could be a C-section related to all of this, or that could be something completely different, and who knows, they're just teasing us because they want us to come back next week. It also looks like next week Tammy and Chris are gonna have a little conflict of interest of like, will Chris be able to get surgery? Will he do it if Tammy's not able to? Which is kind of just like a repeat of what we did in season 1 when Amy was able to have the surgery and Tammy wasn't. So who knows? You know, we'll find out. And of course, like, I'll be talking about it next week. So come back then and we will chat. We'll have a good time and we'll cover it. If this is your first time on my channel, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get notifications. I have a whole playlist of Slayton related content, including all of my reviews of every other single episode of 1,000 Pound Sisters, so check that out. But I also do other things, so I hope you'll stick around for that as well. And as always, please make sure to comment, like, and share this video. Click the little share button and actually copy and paste the link somewhere. It really helps with the algorithm. Also, follow me on all of my social media. I had so much fun with y'all today. I hope you did too, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!